Hello, welcome. Today we are on episode 4 of Chinatown Detective Agency for Midweek Point and Click. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
I'm doing well, I'm doing very well. Saiku's in the chat, how you doing? Welcome in. This week has been quite a busy one, so I'm looking forward to relaxing. Got my cup of Joe here. This game is pretty good, except for the frustrations of last time we played, where we failed the case right at the end and we had to redo the entire case again. Checkpointing system is a little bit poo, but otherwise it's great. Steve, do you want to do a recap of what happened last time?
Well, recap, because it's much simpler than all the ones before, because we've gone to full employment for one client.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that situation where we had to do a restart because there was a date of birth for a safe, and the way they did it was actually tricky and clever, so that we were sort of a little bit behind. I didn't realize what we should have been listening to because I thought it was going to be his date of birth, not his kid.
Right.
But then the problem is, even though we got the answer, we were unsure about it, which made it worse by the fact that it was ambiguous how the date format was on the password.
Yeah, it's like a 6-digit code, right?
Ended up being the one that I was suspicious of. Ended up being the right one because it's something you would never use if it wasn't a password. It makes the password, I guess it's okay because you're not categorizing it, but as you're not reading it back, you're converting to a password, but not like reading it. But yeah, it's bullshit. We didn't have without a format, you've got to do there's 10, 12 combinations you could do all daytime formats with the ordering and no leading zeros.
Yeah, because we knew the year, right? We knew the exact date. It was like the 2nd of, or the 6th of February, 2030, 2029 or something. But
but the way we came to it, we're unsure because it's like, what if we did bad maths or misread something? So we did a full reset, which is a shame because it's towards the end of the case of the mission, so it's not really a case. The whole thing is a case. This is just a mission within the case. We had to just redo the whole thing, which we've gone through a fair bit to get there. And then we went back to this lady who's the CEO that we kind of want to arrest, I guess, even though I think she's innocent, because I think she's helping us to try to find out who did the thing she's been declared guilty from. It's a bit circumstantial evidence too of her being guilty, because it's just that email. But yeah, she then poisoned us in order to get away. So.
I forgot about that. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, she roofied us.
Yeah. And because we had it resorted just I thought it was weird because it's just like a stuffy, like smart, wore like a smart suit, and was this regal businesswoman. And then because we went to this place at the beach, that was weird because I must have misinterpreted it because the clue we got for what city to go to, there were 2 candidates. Because it was something like
yes. Yeah, because it was a time zone, right? They were given like plus 4 or something.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to pick up on, because I was confused because I thought the CEO said she wanted to go somewhere with a beach, but that doesn't make sense that the person we're after would have their bank account in that region. But maybe I misinterpreted that, and it was maybe we're supposed to read something in the emails about the person liking beaches, and that's what would tell us. But the other one was the United Arab Emirates, which I'm pretty sure is on a beach.
One was Dubai and one was Seychelles, and it ended up being Seychelles where we went to.
Yeah, I thought Dubai had fantastic beaches, doesn't it?
I think they're man-made beaches.
Yeah, they've got the artificial landforms. So that doesn't even work.
I don't know. I completely missed that beaches thing. I just thought it was like a lucky dip. You'd guess it right or you'd guess it wrong. But I guess failing the case means that we saved a bit of money because when we booked the trip again, we could go straight to Seychelles instead.
Yeah, they're right on the... A lot of it's probably possibly man-made, but it is on the ocean beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think as well, the bigger thing, Steve, is the reason why we were hacking into the computer is we had to get names, transactions.
Yeah,
People's
and then we
names
tracked.
from transactions because they were encrypted.
Yep.
But yeah, we managed to get those names. I think we gave it to our boss, and then that's where we got roofied.
Yep.
So I don't know how innocent she might be. In fact, if she's roofying us.
Thanks, just to get out of being arrested, so she can still try to prove her innocence.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Ethan Hunt in that first Mission Impossible, where like you're going rogue in order to, like becoming a criminal in order to absolve yourself of what they think you did.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start. I just realized this well.
Ironically, because I listened to a podcast with these two American comedians, two American comedians that do history, and they've done a double-parter on since the last episode I played this on the Pinkertons, which is the big private investigative agency in America.
Yeah.
And
famously known for Red Dead Redemption. Go on.
Okay. But they're going into what most PI stuff actually involves. So it's nothing like this. This is all morally good, whereas the actual one is like pretty terrible. It's like union breaking and shit like that. Like you're sending like a bunch of spies into a workplace and to try to hook up with the unions to then give information, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's actually all kind of, and then most of the other stuff is kind of terrible. Unless I just taken over by a guy that at least tried to get him to look at white collar crime a bit more. Like it's started to become a little bit more moral, but yeah, it's generally kind of horrible. But it reminded me of another story. So tell a story of another PI thing. This is from ages ago. So there's a baseballer called Lenny Dykstra, and he at one stage early in his career, he had a contract for the year for $1 million to play for I forget which team, but play for a team for the year. And he decided to. So the way it's usually told, because it's even the history podcast talked about this, is that he spent a quarter of his paycheck, so $250,000, on private investigators to follow and get dirt on umpires. So his logic being that you're going for a better contract the next year, and they don't really look at the people, they just look at stats. So if you can bump up one of your stats, then you'll get a better contract the next year. And it's essentially because it's like they framed it as he spent a quarter of his salary. And then when I heard another podcast where it's actually him on it, he goes, look, that's a quarter thing. He goes, the logic is that as part of any business, and this is, you got to treat it as a business because you're making money off your body and skills. And he goes, you've got to invest back into your business. And he goes, that's how I did it. And he goes, I didn't just spend like $250 straight off the bat. It's just that I spent a whole bunch of money over the year, and in the end it accumulated to, when I balanced the books, it was $250,000. But he got them to get dirt on the umpires so that he would find out, like, one umpire has a gambling problem, one of them is gay, and some of them might be clean enough that he didn't have to do anything. And so that on a game he wouldn't even say anything explicitly. He'd just go to the umpire, as he passes the umpire, if the umpire was a gambler, he'd go, do you have any money on the Knicks? Or how about those Knicks? Or something like that. And just a hint that he knew. Or if it's a gay umpire, it goes, how's Rick's last night, as in the gay bar, the local gay bar. And he'd just let him know. And then the umpire would give him more walkouts, and also you'd have a smaller strike zone. So he'd get more balls, basically.
Okay.
So he got the most walkouts that year in all of baseball. And then his next contract was like multi-million-dollar. He went from $1 million contract to multi-million-dollar contract. All from the back of private investigators.
Oh, okay. All right, let's start our case. I don't remember if we made it back to Singapore after being drugged. We will soon see. Looks like we did. Is that the right time? Yes. Okay. Let's look at the mission log. What do we have? Call Kieran to find out about developments. All right, we can do that. Check out email first, though. Oh, utility bills. That's right. It's Jones in the fast lane simulator.
Oh yeah.
6 grand. We can do that. 5 grand a month. Whew, that's pretty expensive, isn't it? 5 grand a month. Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah. So we've been pulling down a fair bit of money.
All right.
If it was really like Jones in the fast lane, we could end up naked in a barrel.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's call Kieran then.
Amira, check your news stream.
Okay, will do. I reckon that Kieran looks like an Indian Nico Bellic from GTA 4.
Oh yeah.
It's nice to have you back safe and sound, Amira.
Yes, of course, but first, stream the news.
What's gonna happen? How do we do that? Up the corporate ladder.
What site?
As long as it's not a Rupert Murdoch site, right?
Channel 6 News.
Isn't that the problem nowadays?
Probably, yeah. Channel 6 News. Access the news via your computer. Okay, we can do that. Close this down.
What is this? Wu Wang Towers? Drone footage of Xu Enling's arrest? Wow, that's a lot of news drones.
It's quite the feeding frenzy.
Breaking news here at Wu Wang Towers. Records show that Wu Wang employee Zhu Engleng has been arrested for a series of business malpractices, including the bribery of government officials.
That's quite the public takedown. I can't imagine Wu Wang's reputation surviving this.
We go now to the spokesperson for the company, Wu Wang CEO of Southeast Asia, Claudius Dai.
Let me reassure you, shareholders and the general public, Wu Wang is about a better future, a better Singapore, about high-quality public services, healthcare, green energy, unlimited server space. We have big plans here at Wu Wang, and we will not let the actions of one misguided individual derail us. Thank you.
Looks like someone's well practiced at press conferences.
AI will bring you more as it becomes available. This is Newsbot 6 reporting for Channel 6 News. Was April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles from Channel 6 News? I forget which channel it is.
That sounds right, but I'm not sure.
I spoke too soon. Looks like Wu Wang are doing everything they can to wash the mud off. How is Miss Shi getting along in her new offices?
First, Amira, I am glad you're back safe and sound.
Well, actually, that's not first. That's second, Kieran. I'll take note of your in consideration there.
Albeit via the unintentional scenic route.
You play with fire, you end up getting burned. We all knew Letitia was trouble.
Oh, come on. That's, I don't like that.
I doubt Justin's going to be as forgiving. What was it you said? If it goes wrong, heads will roll?
Well, I hope I was being dramatic. Justin will be the judge of that. He's far from impressed, as you can imagine.
Believe me, I'm far from impressed too. Any idea where the backstabber went?
Do you think we're going to shoot her at some point? Because we do have a gun and we have shot somebody before. It's been a while though.
You'll have to talk to Justin. Xu Enling has been in police custody less than a day and she's already causing trouble.
Is Xu Engling the lady that we went... And remember we had to solve that puzzle with the ship? The Darwinism?
Yeah. Might have been.
Think so.
Lost track there.
Because it makes sense because she had the encrypted emails, but we didn't know who they belonged to. So us going to the Seychelles to collect that information would then show that she took bribe money?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yes, that's then why she's arrested now. I
Oh.
thought it was about the bribe money. the government corruption.
Aussie's so trigger happy.
Yeah. Always thinking with our guns.
I think what it is, Tongs, is because we don't have guns, we don't know how to use them, so we just assume that that's how it's done. Ardwood Fine's in the house too. Welcome in. Good to see you.
And Justin wants you to talk to her.
Any idea what it's about?
I hate to sound like a broken record, but
Okay, I got it. Talk to Justin. Wait, I'm not under arrest, am I?
Hang on. What would? Oh, I guess we did do. We broke into a bank and hacked somebody's computer in a foreign nation. That's kind of illegal.
Yeah, we didn't steal any, I guess.
Stole
We didn't steal
information.
anything, though. Yeah.
I guess there's only one way to find out.
Whew.
That's not very comforting.
Yeah, let's go to prison. I guess. Oh yeah, we should say as well. The other weekend, Steve and I caught up with Verdantry because he was in Melbourne. So we actually went and had dinner, and it was good. It's good to meet him. Yeah.
Korean chicken and soju. No, what's
Yep. Soju, exactly.
soju? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was your first foray into soju, right?
Yeah, because I got it because I thought this is probably going to be like Japanese plum wine, which it was, but more like less, like you can almost not taste out any alcohol at all. It was probably was sweeter and more fruity than plum wine, but
Yep.
and that mostly the same.
Yeah, it's pretty great. No soju. I had too much in New York City a decade ago. It's funny because I never realized that. So I went out with some work colleagues a few weeks back and we had some soju. And when I came home, the first thing Lisa said is, "Man, you smell like alcohol." And I thought that was pretty funny. And then when we were having dinner, we had some soju. And then, except for, because Michael doesn't drink, it's only Steve and I had soju. We were out sitting and just chatting. And Mike was like, "I smell wine. Where's that wine smell coming from?" And it was Steve and myself because we had drank some soju.
Yeah,
like-
we weren't sure until I think when you got in the car, Lisa said, "Oh, it can smell." I think she said something about smelling wine.
Exactly, yeah. She could smell soju again. It's crazy because I think soju is its own special beast in being able to smell it on somebody. Because I think if we had like bourbons and cokes or whatever it might be, it wouldn't be the same.
No, that doesn't. Unless you like you're sweating it out, it doesn't really have a smell to it.
Yeah, and we weren't drunk or anything like that. It was just a drink with dinner. So
Yeah, and I wasn't drunk, but I was probably still a lot because I had work lunch, which my boss keeps filling up everyone's glass with white wine, and I think this time I tried not to drink, but it didn't work. But 'cause the problem is like, it's not even that I want to drink, but I have this thing of like, especially in like a conversation or something, if there's something in front of me, I'll drink it, like just as a doing business, no, not business, but business is in doing something. So yeah, I'll drink because I find myself fidgeting with the glass when it's empty. It's just like doing something, and so I end up drinking way too much during those meetings, and then so dried out just enough to then have another bottle of soju. So I wasn't drunk as in fully drunk, but it was a pretty strong day of drinking heavily and then trying out, then having a bit of soju.
Oh, I guess as well, Michael tried kimchi for the first time because he said that when he first arrived in Melbourne, he had some Korean and there was kimchi on the side, but he wasn't willing to touch it because it was cabbage. But we got kimchi fries and I said, "No, give it a shot." And he had it and he's like, "This is really good." And it is really good. It's very, very tasty. So that's always good when you introduce something to somebody and they like it. So, yeah.
It's also probably the same as like any sort of pickled cabbage. Like it probably removes any sort of form of the original cabbage. Like the taste is, if you don't like the cabbage taste, that's gone. And also the texture changes slightly.
Yep.
And then, so that's something that because it had the option of like pickled radish. It's like I don't know what that's going to be like, and I clicked it, not knowing that there's a Korean place near my, I guess, old apartment. I used to really like Korean barbecue place, and they used to give it to us in that, but I never knew what it was. And me and my dad at one stage tried to figure out, like, tried to guess what it was, and I think we roughly guessed, like maybe some sort of radish or something like that. But when it came out, it's like, oh, that's pickled radish. That's what it was.
Yeah, I like pickled radish
Yes,
too.
yeah.
Is that the yellow one?
No, it's like white cubes.
I've seen that too. Yeah. What's the yellow one that you have with Japanese food? Like, there's usually a disc. Oh, it's like a pickled vegetable that is. It's really bright yellow.
I think I can roughly picture it, but I wouldn't know what it is.
Delicious anyway. Yeah, Asian pickled vegetables. Very good. Very, very good.
Yeah. That's why it was good to see what they actually were. Because I used to be, I really, really liked them at the other Korean place too.
Yeah. All right, Justin, let's give you a call. Let's see if we're under arrest. Hey, Justin, how's it going? Don't you hate Justin me? You bring me one criminal by losing another? Those aren't the kind of odds I like, Amira. Well, if it's any consolation, this one probably doesn't mind that her cell doesn't come with a city view.
Wait, you didn't arrest her, you dumb fuck. You're blaming us.
The mood I'm in, Amira, don't you test me. Hang on one second. The black dots on the pixel lapel makes it look like high nips. For
They're a little bit high though.
which character?
Amira.
Oh,
I haven't seen
these?
it before.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I assume.
Hans is a filth bag.
Thank you, Psycho. That was perfect. Please, Justin. I don't want to be the cause of an aneurysm. You must know I didn't intend to be outwitted by a criminal mastermind. The terms of your work with Letitia were pretty clear. How does a PI of your caliber let a criminal get the upper hand? You can't think I had something to do with this. Besides, she has an implant tracker. Doesn't that mean you can just track her down? Oh, sure. I'll get right on that. What sort of resources do you think I'm working with here? Well, we'll talk about this later. There's something more pressing that needs your attention.
We told them we weren't comfortable with having to babysit her before the thing, and they're like, it's fine, it doesn't matter. And then you can't get pissy with us just for letting them go.
I'm all ears. Thanks, Tongs. Now I can just imagine her wearing like a business jacket with no top on.
It could be like one of those painted on shirts where someone's actually nude, but the clothing is painted on.
Ms. Zhu has implied she has further information on the bribes, information pertaining to the higher-ups of Wu-Tang. But she's giving us nothing concrete. And she will only talk to you. That's funny because I would think that if I went to prison, the first person I would blame is this girl, because I was not in prison before I met this girl. Lucky me. Hang on, I was undercover when I met her. How does she know who I am? Oh, there we go. She asked for Maria Murad. If the information she gives pans out, there might be a little redemption in it for you. Redemption? Come on now.
Yeah, he's doing a manipulative thing to make it appear like we owe him.
Yeah. Ah, yes, I do enjoy paying my bills with redemption. Come down to Tanjong Pagar HQ. They'll be expecting you. Hopefully no particular time. Tanjong Pagar. Oh, and Amira? Try not to let a criminal escape this time. I don't like this this guilt tripping he's doing.
Nah.
He needs to grow up. Alright. Tanjong Pagar, here we go. Oh, we're back in Williamstown.
Yeah. The ice cream shop doesn't have shop spelled SHOPPE.
Well, that's pretty good. The prison cell has a computer. Ah, Miss Murad, is it? Whoever you are, or maybe this. Hang on. Whoever you are, I assume you don't have to thank me for landing me in this. I assume it's you I have to thank for landing me in this cell. So is this not the lady we met? What makes you say that? Because it doesn't have a portrait here either. I don't think it's a coincidence I am where I am when you waltzed into my life. Okay, it is. You're right. Yep. I was too buried in work to do my proper due diligence. What is it you want from me, Ms. Zhu? Tell me, is it really a crime to want to impress one's boss? If it is if it involves systematically bribing business owners, politicians, and government officials. Look, I can hardly deny that I was the one processing the bribes. But I'm not exactly the top of the corporate ladder. I'd love to say I'm the mastermind behind it all, but I do what I'm told. In the hope the puppet masters know what they're doing. Who's really pulling the strings, Engling? Whoever they are, turns out they're more than happy to throw me under the figurative MRT train. You have no idea who's in charge, do you? I can only tell you who told me what to do. Claudius Dye. Ah. He was the dude on the news. My boss. He's the one you need to go after. I assume if you had a paper trail to prove it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I don't know what he's up to, what game he's playing, but I do know that I'm the one taking the fall. And I'm not happy about it. Why are you telling me this? I've given you reason not to trust me. That's the point. I did trust you. That's why I'm in this mess. You could argue you're in this mess because you broke the law. You could win over Claudius and perhaps find out what this is all for. You expect me to believe you're in it for truth and justice? I want my sentence reduced. We can help each other out. Fair enough. And why do you think I'd do that? Because without my help, you're going to run in circles until the case gets called. Listen carefully. Claudius keeps a diary that's offline, if you catch my drift. I admit I was curious, so I had a look. There was one meeting in particular with several notes attached. If you're curious, it's at 11 p.m. tomorrow at Limtech Labs in Tuas. I foresee he'll be there for a while. Don't be too late. Okay, it's 9 in the morning, so it will actually mean tomorrow. 11 p.m. tomorrow. He's always punctual. Don't be late.
A bit of the Blade Runner music.
Yeah. Ah, there you are. Bet you're dying to know what my friend Miss Zhu had to say. What makes you think I wasn't watching the CCTV?
His haircut looks so much different from his pixelated version to his portrait. Like maybe it's supposed to be spiky there, but his portrait looks like combed down, and then he looks like David Tennant in the pixelated version.
Far as I can see, she's grasping at straws. Just wants a chance to get her sentence reduced or prolonging the process. I doubt her so-called intel will amount to much. Pursue the supposed lead if you want, but I'll only be footing the bill if you bring me Letitia Marlowe first. Oh, okay. From your tone, I take this as non-negotiable. You lost her. You should be the one to find her, don't you think? Rhetorical, I assume? Here is her implant tracker. So this is turning into a, like, where in the world is Letitia San Diego? It's a shoddy piece of government issue crap, always awarding contracts to the lowest bidder. But it should get you within spitting distance. Good luck. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a mountain of work to conquer. I don't like this blaming me for this business. Like you said, Steve, it wasn't our idea.
Didn't we? We also brought her in, didn't we? If it wasn't for us.
I don't. We leaked it to the press, maybe, because we hacked her computer to get the emails.
I mean, physically, because they didn't have their hands on her until we brought her in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. Oh, we got some computering to do. Can you take a screenshot of this for me, Steve, and I'll open up the browser?
Okay, second.
Yep, all right. All right, let's go to the maps. Can you give me the chords?
Hang on, I've got to zoom in. North 49.8586.
8586.
And east 2.3522.
2.3522.
Yep.
Where are we going? We are going to Francais. I'm just going to repeat
Okay,
that
so
to
I was gonna
you
say
just to make
it's-
sure. It's 49.51.31. Oh, it converted what you had into.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 49.85 to 2.3522 rounding.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Francais it
Exactly.
is.
Sounds about right, because east is barely an angle, so it has to be somewhere close to the Greenwich line. So that actually makes sense.
Is there Patty? There is. I think that's the only... Hang on, so we're going to have to fly there and come back before we meet the dude. This is going to be tight. Let's buy this. Okay, we go to the map. Flying in our jet.
The old Qantas screen that shows you the map.
Yep.
I was thinking that was Qantas because as a kid, I remember seeing like a map in the screen.
Here we go. Oh, got a pan. Oh, hello.
Amira, I mean, Amira.
Ah,
You know, I had a nagging feeling you'd eventually catch up. I suppose there's no avoiding you forever.
shoot her!
I heard on the grapevine that Miss Shu isn't taking responsibility for the engineer's death.
Hang on, I'm trying to piece this together. She's the one, Letitia is the one that got accused of killing the engineer with the little hummingbird drone.
Yep.
How does this tie into Ms. Zhu being the one that caused it? I guess that's what Letitia was hanging out with us for. To
Yeah,
prove
she
her
wanted
innocence.
because she wanted to bring Sue down because she thought it would come out that she was the one that ordered the hit, and thus that would absolve Letitia.
Yes. Okay.
She's barely taking responsibility for the bribes. Wait, how do you know this?
I've told you, I have friends in strategic places.
You almost convinced me you could care. That you wanted to find the truth. Or to at least clear your name.
There's a world out there begging me to explore it. Why should the truth complicate matters?
You need to come back. Back to Singapore.
Back to captivity? Really, Amira? I'm having far too much fun to do anything you tell me to.
Is that what you want? A life of always looking over your shoulder? Always wondering who's calling or who's behind the door when they knock? Sounds exhausting. But that's your choice, Letitia.
Whew, so somber, Amira. You should try the coffee here.
Is this some sort of game to you?
If I try the coffee, I'm gonna get roofied again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Sending me around the world on a wild goose chase.
I've never been called a wild goose before.
I'm done.
You're done. You sound like my soon-to-be ex-wife.
Done with your games. I'm done chasing after you.
I'm gonna put some lead in you.
Run all you like. From here on out, all you'll be running from are shadows.
Don't let it go.
Have a nice life, Letitia.
That wasn't very convincing. Secret meeting at 11
So just to
p.m.
meet Tisha.
Oh, hang on 1 second. Where we got Limtech Labs. Shit. I think this is the Limtech Labs. Where's Limtech Labs? Tours, wasn't it? Tours. I believe it was in Tours. We're a little bit late. Oh no, we're not. We're almost. I think we're good. What the? Friend. Looks exactly like one of the places the nefarious meeting would take place. He's either got dog poop on his foot, or he's going to charge me like a bull.
Hmm.
Oh, H is the... I don't know. This is where our tech goes to die, huh? Why do the words moth to the flame spring to mind? Ooh. We're gonna hack?
Another memory puzzle.
Hope so. No.
Huh? We're in Vault 67.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's not a good sign. Well, just when I thought it couldn't get worse. I'm starting to think Miss Ju's breadcrumb trail is all a ruse. Is that a penis?
Welcome, Amira Dharma. Or Maria Marad, if you prefer.
He saw through my lie. My anagram name. How could he have? Claudius Dye, I assume. I can't imagine I'm locked in here for my health.
These days, we require a lot from our mechanical helpers.
It's really strange how the voice acting will turn on and off for different characters for no real reason.
yeah.
We
It's like a-
program them to perform certain functions, but we also want them to reason, to understand, to not have every line of code dictated.
That's like because it's almost like an old-fashioned RPG, but even then, old-fashioned RPGs used to be a little bit more consistent, where it's like the first line or something like that would be voiced.
Yeah, or even
Whereas
like
nowadays it's either everything's voiced or nothing is voiced. Like you don't have that. It's not worth that dichotomy.
Mm-hmm. Like the way Yakuza does, or Like a Dragon does it in the like all the cutscenes are voiced and everything. But if you're out and about in the street, he'll have sort of like an exclamation sort of sound bark, and then it'll have subtitles of what he said. Like it'll go like, "Oh, really?" and then it'll have like text underneath to elaborate more.
Yeah, it's more like an emote as flavoring.
Yeah.
Because like they do like a you'll also hear them do a or like the NPCs do a or something like that at the start of.
Yeah, it's like that's the game you're playing, the code, source code, or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name. Where you've got
Code.
those little sound bites that you press to exclaim.
This is where we put them to the test. To check to see whether they have the right mix of reasoning and adaptability. Nothing like a bit of life or death stakes to get the brain cogs turning.
Oh, great. Is this going to be a restart the case if we fail? I think it is. Life or death? What do you mean?
This really isn't the sort of place a busy man like me should be.
Oh. Wait, tell me why. Why are you amassing public services?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Exactly, thank you. Oh, you both did it. Look at that. Let's see if I can. No, you guys got it handled. Excellent. Wait, tell me why. Why are you amassing public services? What are you trying to achieve? Were you knowingly presiding over the water company that intended to serve poison to the poorest customers?
I'm not out to hurt anyone.
Without the tiered system of water... Without the tiered system, the water could have been shared equally amongst everyone. Without the ridiculous higher tiers, everyone could have clean, safe water. None of this gold-flecked bullshit. Goldschlager on tap.
What's this Tommy ideas?
Yes. But where is the profit in that?
Capitalism.
By doing things differently, I ensure economic survival.
Whose? Yours? Wu-Tang's?
Image is very important in this day and age. I can't help but notice you're on a misguided path to ruin mine. Your little mission to dig deeper into my company's dealings isn't a welcome spotlight. What a shame. You stumbled into an old AI machine testing facility, and in doing so, met an unfortunate end.
Oh, great.
The survival you should be focusing on is your own.
I wonder if we'll have to get out our gun and then like shoot this, shoot the peniss, shoot the line graph.
Maybe. Well, you know how to beat AIs.
How do I beat AIs?
Memory puzzles.
Memory puzzles, yeah. What was I thinking? Zhu Engling had a terrible memory. And I believe she remembered the entries for her boss's covert calendar. And yet, this is a test of intelligence.
This is an excellent example of a situation going from bad to worse to
Oh shit, we're gonna be a Jill sandwich.
Laetitia, I should have known this was something to do with you.
Hang on, does this work? I think this was it.
That was too close. You're almost a psycho sandwich.
You're right. Barry, thanks for saving my life.
Hopefully Barry will come and save us. Unless Laetitia is Barry. Laetitia, I should have known this was something to do with you.
Don't get your handcuffs in a twist, Amira. This is not my doing. I'm here to help.
Tongs, that's some Kojima bullshit that I'm not willing to do.
Oh? I saw someone leaving in a limo.
Do you Americans call them limos as well, or do you always say limousine? Like limo sounds so Australian. Then I guess
I'm sure in American shows they call it limo.
I don't know. I guess because we just add O to everything, we always shorten and then add an O. Like
Yeah,
Steven becomes Steve-O. Yeah.
So this isn't added. It's already just short.
Devan's in the house. Most Americans can't spell limousine. Right. How you doing?
How did you know I was here?
Oh, she's put a track on us. Maybe when she roofied us, there was like a little tracking device.
Justin's not the only one with access to tracking tech. I may have hidden a tracking device in your torch.
Okay, so for the Americans, a torch is a flashlight.
Someone told the recent story of being brought up on customs because they said they had a torch, and the customs person thought they'd meant like a medieval torch. That was only until they explained that it's a flashlight.
That's weird.
Is that? That's just random coincidence. I saw it somewhere else.
When did you...
Oh, do we really have time to dwell on this now?
Why are you here?
I just know, Steve, I got this gut feeling it's going to go wrong and we're going to have to do the case again.
I wouldn't be so foolish to think you can't handle a situation.
Unless she saves us, which I
Though
hope
I
so.
would
She's
point
gonna
out that you
save us, or at
are
least
on
help
that
save us.
side of the door.
It's gonna be some
and
puzzle we're still
I'm
going to
on
do.
this side of the door. Why didn't you call for backup?
Chris was my old partner, you know.
Fun fact, it takes, on average, 23 minutes and 40 seconds for a first responder to arrive at a scene after a 999 call,
999.
by which time I'll be an Amira sandwich.
Hey! Hey! Ah, she said it. She said it.
Aren't there any buttons or safety protocols in there? Something to stop these walls or to open this door?
Off switches are usually big red buttons, right?
Yeah, I don't think that red button there is going to be it.
Bingo.
There's nothing like that in here. At least not anymore.
What if we shoot the glass and then jump through?
Looks like a few of the essentials have been removed.
Like in Aliens.
Safety overrides won't be getting you out of this one.
Damn it.
It would appear the test for robot intelligence is essentially an escape room.
An escape room?
Used to be really popular at the turn of the century. But they can still be found. Perfect for a team-building activity. Escape rooms are filled with clues and riddles.
Oh, God.
You have to find them and figure them out.
Get your game face on, Steve.
Only
that's actually
escape rooms are not usually overseen by a
constellations.
power-hungry businessman with murder in mind.
Oh, you know
That's
what?
Orion. That's Orion on the right, isn't it?
Do you want to quickly Google that before the timer starts? We're in a good spot to actually take in our surroundings. So if you do search for some constellations, the one that looks like a penis, the one that looks like a line graph, and the headless man with a shield.
Looking up images right now.
Yep.
It's one of the common ones. I don't see a penis. Gemini kind of looks like a bit like a penis, but what's the other one? Oh, just a squiggle.
Yeah, make sure you use your work computer when you're searching as well, Steve.
Penis constellation.
Yeah. The work computer will have more, power and stuff like that, so... Alright, while you look that up, I'm going to quickly go fill up my water bottle. I'll be back in 1 moment.
Oh, I found it. Libra. Oh yeah, one of the images I got looks much different.
I've acquired a water, and a muesli bar, granola bar.
And I found the penis.
Oh, did you?
Yep, it's Libra.
Libra's the penis. Okay, what's the line graph one?
I don't know, it's so indistinctive. Scorpio might be the closest, or there's also the kite one. Ursa Minor, but it's got a box at the end. Scorpio is also like a squiggle, but it's got like the line at the end, like a.
Devan, I've eaten a cheeseburger in France before, so I have lived the limousine cuisine life. Very good. All right. So they're going to be star signs, obviously. We've got to think about what they...
No, because Orion isn't a star sign.
Oh. Constellations. Okay, we'll see what happens.
The stakes aren't usually so high
Cassiopeia.
in corporate getaways.
Line graph is Cassiopeia.
Okay.
It's Cassiopeia is literally just 5 dots that's just connected into a zigzagging squiggle. So it could be, there's probably multiple that's like that. Cassiopeia fits it.
A hunter among the stars? Oh, what one was it? Orion?
Orion, yep. That's on our side. That's in our hemisphere too. You
Sweet.
can see Orion in the sky.
Mythical royalty?
Cassiopeia probably is that, but I'll just look up her name.
Is that how you spell it?
Oh, Google's correcting me. Oh, not the constellation, the person. Mother of Andromeda, so yeah.
Is that how you spell it?
Oh no, it's CASS
Yep.
IOPEIA.
Yes! And the penis?
Libra.
Oh, because of the
Oh,
scales. Yes!
If you can see scales in that, then that wasn't close at all.
Luckily, we had the
Okay.
foresight to know how this game works.
But then how's an AI necessarily supposed to know that unless you've put it in its database what the constellations are? If this is an intelligence test for an AI. Because that required general knowledge, not intelligence.
I gotta do it again. Sorry, hang on.
That was too close. You're almost a psycho sandwich.
You're right. Barry, thanks for saving my life.
Thanks, Barry.
Hats off to the both of you. You do know how to get out of a dire situation.
Yeah, let's.
Surviving the jaws of death feels like a mission triumph to me.
What a long night.
Night's not over yet.
You certainly don't shy away from poking the hornet's nest.
Letitia's right. If the hornets aren't dealt with, they'll only sting someone else. Shi and Ling has a few things to answer for, and Claudia's die is still out there.
I was wrong to doubt you, Amira. Limited time and sleep have me on the ropes.
Ah, so because you haven't had sleep,
Yeah.
you're blaming me for your mistakes.
Any luck on bringing in Letitia?
That's not an apology. Any luck on bringing her in?
Why don't you get some of your boys to bring her in? We're a PI, it's not a fucking responsibility.
She helped me out, actually. Without her knowledge of escape rooms, I might not have figured things out in time.
And where is she now?
Difficult to say.
Look, I know I said payment was dependent on bringing Laetitia in, but what you've given me is good enough to get a warrant. And your commitment to the cause should be rewarded. Thank you, Amira.
Let's see how much this costs. We're on 42,000.
Keep me updated on how things progress.
Thank you, Amira, for not sending me to my cage.
The least I can do, since you helped me out of one.
And thank you, Kieran, for keeping silent on the matter.
I've learned to trust Miss Dharma's instincts.
I say it's time to celebrate. Death cheated, tick. Warrant in process, tick.
Oh, we might still get an Amira sandwich.
How about a few drinks out on the town? Cocktail, anyone?
Steve, hang on. I think that worked. Couldn't hear it, but I assume it did.
No offense, Laetitia, but it'll be a while before you and I share a drink again.
Didn't hear anything? Alright, let me try the other one. That probably didn't work either. Oh well.
A kind offer, Miss Marlowe, but I best be going.
Thank you. Alright, chat, speaking of cocktails, tell me your favourite cocktail in chat. What's yours, Steve?
Long Island iced tea.
It's a good choice. It's a boozy choice.
Liked it. Yeah, I liked it just from because I think I first had it with you, but I've always liked it in general, like just the taste and nice. But I also since learnt its backstory, and that's made me like it even more. It's kind of got a cool backstory behind it.
Saku's is an amaretto sour. It's a good choice. Very good choice. What about you, Tongs? What about you, Artie Fine? Devan? Come on. You must have one. You rocked up. You're meeting Steve for the first time at a bar. He orders his Long Island iced tea. You order...
I want to get you a bit lick it up, so I've offered to get you a drink, get you a cocktail.
Exactly. So Steve's shouting you a cocktail to wet your whistle.
So it's the passion pop of America, is it?
I think bang for buck Long Island iced teas are good for sorority girls, I guess.
There's that. Doesn't taste like alcohol that much, even though it's got tons in it.
Yeah.
The backstory is it's a prohibition drink, so it's something you can order. It looks like an iced tea, so it's basically something that looks like an iced tea, and you would have urban housewives, like seemingly drinking iced teas on patios in New York, and actually they're getting sloshed. And it looks like they're just having iced teas when actually they're getting sloshed.
We don't have the Greek system. We don't have sororities at all.
Or frats.
Yeah. Is sorority a girl version of a fraternity?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's male and female.
We don't have those at all. So, that being said, because we don't have that, we don't have that hazing bullshit that you see.
And we don't have, I wouldn't say there's no sexual assaults, but we don't have that systematic problem.
Exactly.
Which probably comes from, culturally comes from that. What was that movie?
Van Wilder?
No, the one
Animal House?
It was in COVID. It's one of the ones I avoided in COVID, and you guys didn't know. Hadn't seen us, you didn't know.
Was it Animal House? It's fucking awful. It's a horrible film.
I think it's come from that.
Oh, Porky's is great. I will always love Porky's.
Porky's doesn't have... Well, it's not frat-like. It maybe has a bit of the sexualization stuff with it. Oh, there's probably a bit of...
Porky's isn't rapey. Animal House is rapey.
Yeah, there's... Because the scene I remember is because I was like, what the fuck is it's like because there's always the standard pattern thing that has gone into other movies, which is the rich frat and the poor frat, and the poor frat's cooler and the rich frat wants to eliminate them. But so it's like actually a cool scene initially of like the difference between them is that the group of rich kids are at a diner and John Belushi's working at the diner. But when they and then they do the standard uppity things about the other frat. But then one of the rich girls actually says, "Your frat is responsible for most of the sexual assaults on campus." And John Belushi just goes, yeah. Like, that just waves it off. And it's like, and knowing that he's, at the time, the coolest person, like the character he was portraying as SNL, from SNL onwards, is generally a cool person, for him to just wave off sexual assaults, where that's actually a thing, that's like, no, that's, as much as it's the villains of the story saying that, that's actually a valid thing. That's, that I was very uncomfortable. I remember being very uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
Thank you for dropping by, Kieran. Let's just hope that Warren pans out. If anyone should be behind bars, it's Claudius Dye.
Well, I define that's, so there is like subculture of like drinking and partying and the uni life. I was never part of that when I went there. I was also just went to classes, maybe mixed socially a little bit, but never going drinking, like never partying or going drinking. But there is like a little bit of that, but there's no like units like social groups, like formal social groups like frats or sororities.
Case solved? Oh, yes. In the bag. 1 week later.
I'm certain the wine house is missing our presence, Amira.
I have work to do.
Plus, I'm not drinking with you again, Letitia.
Don't you ever sleep?
The city doesn't, so why should I?
What work is so important to need your attention at this time of night?
That Claudius character. He's smart. I'm not confident that warrant will be enough.
We were going to shoot Claudius. Like, I imagine the scene in RoboCop when the Ed 209 comes into the boardroom.
I just, pump full of bullets. That's the other classic Verhoeven, that, and when on in Total Recall, when on Schwarzenegger's using that guy as a human shield.
Yes. Oh man, Total Recall is so good.
So those are both the
Justin, calling so
ridiculous
soon?
number of
I
squibs
can't imagine
on
it's good
someone.
news.
Yeah, it's like, let's put 5 squibs on this guy and then add another 5.
Yeah.
I thought you want to know. Shu Enling was found dead in her cell.
Wow. Hummingbird through the cage?
Did?
Dead to rights, am I right?
It looks like suicide, but
But
in-cell
She went out
footage
like
was
Epstein.
erased. External footage too.
Wow.
that doesn't sound like suicide to me.
Is this an Epstein nod?
I'll keep you updated. The cogs are turning a little slow for the Claudius Dye warrant, but we'll get there, I hope.
Penny for your thoughts, Amira?
She and Ling might have sent me to my death, or tried, at least. But who knows whether she did that under duress? She didn't deserve to die.
I guess RoboCop also had the Alex Murphy scene, which was also very, very gratuitous as well.
Yeah.
The TV edit didn't have it, but the legit, like, I think, do you remember, Steve, our rating system, back before we had the one where it was like G, PG, M, MAR, it used to be AO. Do you remember that?
Yeah, adults only.
Yeah.
That's how I used to remember which way to turn tap or valve. Because it used to be CC for children's content, so CC and AO is counterclockwise closed and anti-clockwise open.
Okay. Interesting. First time you saw RoboCop was on broadcast TV. The second time you saw it was the non-censored network TV, and it was a bit shocked. Yeah, exactly. The bit where they shoot off Alex Murphy's hand with the shotgun wasn't in the TV version, I believe.
Mm.
Unnatural selection.
I'd say Miss Shu's crime was knowing too much.
This has Claudia's die written all over it. He's clearly willing to do anything to get what he wants. Bribery, murder.
The question is, can we prove it?
I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to wait for that warrant.
Yes.
The wine house will have to wait.
Yeah, exactly, Tongs. I think I remember seeing that when I was about 9 years old, I would say. And it was pretty confronting as a little boy. That and Predator was always a yuck one too, because my dad taped Predator off the TV on VHS, and I would always get up to the bit where the bodies are hanging, the skinned bodies are hanging from the tree, and always that was enough to make me want to turn it off.
I had the opposite with Predator just because Predator was, for some reason, I didn't see it when I was really young, and my stepbrothers, my stepdad's stepbrothers, and they used to make me watch horror films, and I used to be bad with horror films, and I'd be scared shitless. Wouldn't be able to sleep all night. But then one of them was like pointing out Predator at the video, so I was like, oh, this is an awesome movie. It's about this creature that like he turns. He didn't describe him properly because I imagined the Predator turning into this tree stump with like little leaves around it. Because the way he's trying to describe the cloaking thing, that's what it came out as.
Weird.
Because like it turns into the leaves, kind of, and it's like you didn't describe it properly.
It's like little boys trying to describe what they see.
Yeah. So I got the concept all wrong, but so I was like a early teenager that it wasn't with them, and I just hired it. And I thought, oh, watch this thing. I'm probably a bit older. I should be able to handle a little bit of a horror. And I realized it's not a horror film at all, other than there's a few graphic, violent points like the skinned bodies. But
yeah,
I was expecting horror. And it's like, oh, this is a really cool action film.
Yeah, the bit where they go into the militia town and like they pick up, like Arnie picks up the generator with his arms just to show off his biceps and stuff. You don't even see any sort of aliens before that, so it was just like, oh, this is a cool, Commando-esque kind of thing. And
to show off his biceps, but also I like that concept of lifting it up because they like them using a cart or like a car, it's like a generator.
Yeah, car engine. Yeah.
And then you just lift it off its stump to turn it into this weapon. It's like that was kind of a cool concept.
Yeah.
Saw the Red Letter Media guys talking about Predator, and like the thing they said was like it's almost like they've got the conclusion of a normal action film at the end of the first act of Predator. Like it's like the concluding action scene in any normal action film, and it's just getting started. It's like, oh, it's kind of true.
Alright, what is our mission? Find evidence against Claudius Dai. Try his office at Wu-Tang Tower in Tanjong Pagar. Alright. We didn't get any money. Unless it gave the money before he said it and we just didn't notice it.
That could have been it. But he paid us in redemption.
He forgave us for his hang-ups. Tanjong Pagar. Okay. The state has failed. Oh, we're back here again. Oh yeah, I remember this place. That's strange. Doors to security-obsessed companies aren't usually left open. Someone must be in a hurry. One way to find out if it's who we think it is. Welcome to Wu-Tang. We hope you have a productive day. Which floor belongs to Claudius Dai? From his arrogance, we can safely guess the top floor. Yeah, maybe we will get Psycho Samid in the elevator. Psycho, if you had a sandwich at a restaurant, like you go into like a, you know, kind of like a Subway or not a Subway, but you know what I mean, like a sandwich shop, what would be on the Psycho sandwich? Reminds me of Curb Your Enthusiasm actually, because there was a Larry David sandwich plot line in one of the episodes. It was very good. If Claudius isn't here, where is he? Sandwiches are tough because you're pescatarian, so maybe you have like roll mops and capers and salads. I don't know. You don't have to have meat on a sandwich.
It's like a bit of damper.
Damper?
Yeah. Pescatarian is like the non-processed, right?
No, pescatarian's fish only.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's vegetarian with fish. Fish sandwich. I don't know about a fish sandwich. That sounds pretty gross.
Cooked tuna I like. Cooked
Alright.
tuna with corn.
I like raw tuna. Cooked tuna tastes like a can. Fried fish? Fried fish ain't bad either, actually. So you like a catfish? I think that's what you guys do, right? In the US? Po' boys? And why were the doors to the building open? A glitch in their security tech, perhaps? Maybe. It doesn't quite add up. Uh-oh, you're right, it is a... Hang on, let's have a look. Anything lit up? No. I love traps too. Absolutely love them.
I also like walking into them.
Whoa!
Look, we just walked through the
Hologram chair.
ghost. We died in that
Yeah.
that room.
What if it
We're
is
actually
like that?
squished.
There's a locked drawer. Could be something, but I can't see a key. For someone who keeps his gaze firmly on the future, Claudius Dye is old school in his filing methods. There's a locked drawer. Could be something I can't find. Okay. There's nothing really... That's the only thing to select. Can we talk to Letitia? We'll try this one again. Talk about growth tied to prosperity of a nation. Look at this. All these services. National Water, MRT, New Power, wind turbines, solar panels, medical tech, telecom, water, transport, electricity, healthcare, service space.
Take a look at this.
Exactly. All that's needed to keep society ticking. Or bring it to its knees. Whoever commands all these services will be in charge of us all. Whenever you go to Subway, whenever Psycho goes to Subway, Bolt's favorite, yes. Lisa forbids me from going to Subway. Even if I want to go, she says, no, you're not allowed to. I always get the veggie sub, just a pile of veggies, cheese, bread, and dressing. Salad Sammy.
How come she says not to?
Because I got incredibly food poison from there. Like the worst. Like my skin was grey and I was like sick for like a week. It was horrible. It was the identical, Steve, to that episode of The Simpsons where Homer doesn't want to throw out his sub and he ends up eating some of it and he turns grey and they throw it out.
Yeah, I hadn't had it for ages, but I had it recently, and then before that I had it for ages, and I got the chicken breast, and he put the raw chicken breast on the sandwich before he realized that he wanted toasted, and then he put it in the microwave, and I was thinking, I don't know how safe that is.
Yeah,
it's already touched.
I think in that instance, you might be safe because I think the chicken fillets are previously cooked. They're kind of processed into a patty rather than real legit chicken.
Yeah. So it's probably not as bad as raw, but then
Yeah.
it's been sitting there collecting whatever.
But that's probably the reason I got sick, right? Is because of that kind of mistake causes cross-contamination. Because all it takes is for someone to get their salad, then move across, put the ham on there, and someone says, "Oh, actually, can I have some olives on that too?" And then they go and use the glove that's touched the meat into the olives, you know, that kind of shit. But so bad. Psycho, was it you that was saying that you can get a foot-long cookie now? You got E. coli twice in one summer because of spinach. Wow. What are the symptoms to E. coli? Because I feel that E. coli isn't really talked about here much at all.
I've thought about that, because I think we just put it down to food poisoning in general.
Yeah, we put blanket term it all.
Because I've sort of the same thing as golden, you hear about golden staph, and it's like, I wonder what that was until I realized I think it's just food poisoning. It's just that if you go to the doctor, you'll find out what type it is, and if you don't, or if your doctor just goes, it's food poisoning, then you just don't know the name.
Yeah. Or if you've got papapia, then usually people just say, "Oh, I've got gastro," without even actually, they self-diagnose that it's gastro, rather than go to the doctor and they say, "Yeah, you've got gastrointendinitis," or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
A yearly physical. But should probably do that. I don't get yearly physicals, though. Yeah, probably should. Oh, Artie Fine's got some E. coli stories. Letitia, look, plans for the tiered system of national water. Why do you think I was investigating Wu-Tang before you? They were instrumental in the tiered approach, though I didn't know that it was Claudius's brainchild. And all this time, I thought it was your misguided and entirely morally disgraceful idea. I'm not a monster, Amira. Just overambitious and guilty of putting company needs above that of others. Let me see. It's not exactly right, Artie Fine, but while you're typing your story, let me see if I can find a good soundbite for you.
What is Baltimore Tell Us a Story?
But instead of me, it's obviously you, Artie Fine. What? You're not a monster? Successful CEOs are often present other people's ideas as their own. I was no different. I used to think in life you could get what you pay for. Things change, I guess. They say you're only... Oh, hang on. There is a restaurant in my town named Sam and Alla's Chicken Palace. Oh, I see. It's a pizza joint. The owners used to own a business across the road from it. It was named Ernie Keeli's Chili Pot. Wow. So you guys have all the diseases there. Disease? Is it a disease? Not a disease, what is it? Infection? Mexican food place. Were they like an actual restaurant, or was it like a buffet? Buffet? Buffet, is that the right word, Steve? Buffet?
Yeah, buffet's the Sizzler, even though Sizzler's not around anymore.
Yeah, food courts and buffets I never go to ever. That's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, used to be cool as a kid. I explicitly remember Sizzlers, seeing one of the people restock, drop from a tray. I don't know if it's her, don't remember the gender, but kiwi fruit dropped from their tray and landed. It was a half a kiwi fruit and it landed flesh down on the ground.
Yeah.
They just picked it up and put it back.
Yeah.
I explicitly remember that as a kid.
Yeah. I remember the Pizza Hut.
It shouldn't matter that it landed flesh down, but that just made it worse. And made it more visceral, where it's just spat, and then she just picked it up and put it in the tray where people would pick it.
Excuse me. Yeah, the Pizza Hut ones. You'd always see kids grabbing the jelly and chocolate mousse with their fingers. And, ugh, yuck. Ah, yeah. So gross. So gross.
That's the thing. I think it was good when you're a kid, though. That's like the main.
Because you don't know what germs are.
And it's buffet, and it's like adults that kind of, I don't know, a certain type of adult, but yeah, it's like a fun place as a kid because you get to eat what you want, sort of. The adults would at least tell you to eat proper food before you go to the dessert section, but apart from that, it's like you can do that, play around with other kids, have something to eat, play around with other kids, have something to eat. Remember one time, this is so much fun. I don't know why, because usually you're sort of the family's keep to themselves, and usually you're not allowed out and in again for this explicit reason. But when I was a kid, we ate a fair bit. We knew not to didn't stuff ourselves, but ate probably a little bit full and then maybe a bit past that. And for whatever reason, there was a door open slightly, or I don't know. You could get back in. You could go out and get back in, or the staff didn't care that we were doing it. And all the kids from all the families, for some reason, we went out and played Tiggy outside.
Yeah.
For half an hour or so.
Tiggy is tag for the Americans. Go on.
Yep. And by the time we're done, we ate again because we'd burnt off all that exercise. We were hungry again, and we had another serving. That was kind of cool. And yeah, playing with other kids. That was a real fun day.
Psycho also once saw a kid lick a ketchup bottle top and has never been able to use one since. Yuck.
Yeah.
Kids can be monsters. Kids are the worst. Absolutely. Think about all the bullying that happens. I would say 90% of bullying happens when you're a child, right? Kids are just absolute assholes.
I think there's that. I think also, as the victim, you're stuck. As an adult, you can do things to avoid bullying situations. But I sort of keep thinking to myself of because sometimes generally being okay in workplaces, and I've sort of realized you're not stuck there in the same way you are at school.
But I think as well, the brain's developed a little bit.
Yeah, there's also the Danny Glover's. I saw one of Danny Glover's stand-ups, and he made the point that sort of stuck with me of what makes a human being decent is sympathy and empathy. That's the two pillars of any sort of decency, and kids don't have that yet. Because he made the joke initially of they're like little Hitlers, but and they've got a laugh at it, but goes, but seriously, and then he made that point. It's you can't really have ethics without those two, and they've yet to have that, depending on the age.
They say you only really get clearer picture of things when you're looking back on them. But please, Amira, let's not dwell. Looks like he was planning a tiered approach across all services under the Wu-Tang banner.
I've been thinking of it recently, when you see really, really young kids, and when adults are able to make them laugh and entertain them. And I had this realization at one point, because I thought I was never good at that, but I have this revelation at one stage of the kids have their concept of comedy is the same as a medieval court, because it's the adults are acting foolish in order to make them laugh.
Yeah,
it's always that. It's never anything else. It's it's always you're silly, you're seeing this authority figure go to a lower level in you, and that's what's funny.
I remember for us, it was our uncles beating the shit out of us, play fighting. That was always the thing to entertain all the cousins, was just going out on the grass and fighting the uncles. It was good memories, except for one of our uncles was a little bit too excessive with the fighting, I would say. A little bit painful.
I was about to say, is that the uncle starts with J, but all of them too?
Yes. The youngest of the uncles.
Okay, it's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I remember the one time, and it's just a kid expecting play fighting, but because he was a prison guard, he just used one of the maneuvers you'd use on a prisoner on me.
He did, yeah, totally. It's the pressure point tactic. He's using pressure points on children. It's yeah. I think the best uncle to fight was Steve's dad. Like that was always, there was never any pain, and it was always like a great time. Because I remember, if you remember this one, Steve, the youngest uncle that would cause the pain to us, it would be like grabbing your fingers like this, like pushing your finger knuckles right down into your hand. Yeah. Or
the one I remember
or
is
in the thumb here, like pressing the soft meat in your thumb.
I don't think I got those. The one I remember was the like throwing me to the I just remember going to the ground real quickly. I forget what maneuver he did, but then he just had like one hand pushing down on the shoulder and one hand pushing down on the wrist.
Oh yeah, I know the
so
one.
you've got that person's whole arm flat out, and that isolates pretty much the rest of their body.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. The best is when you let the kids think that they can tackle you.
Yeah.
Just cracks them up. Yeah, for sure. All right. He has a whole file on your murdered engineer. Someone really needs to tell Claudius how to burn evidence. Looks like Dr. Pan not only knew National Water's planned tiered system had poison in it, but also that Claudius had plans to roll out a tiered system across Wu-Tang's entire portfolio of public services. There's a transcript of a message in here from you, Amira, arranging to meet with Dr. Pan. It details where and when you were going to meet. Claudius knew when and where to get to Dr. Pan. Did I tell you it wasn't me? Everything we need proves shady dealings, the morally corrupt plans, and the murder of Carl Pan is right here. Okay, some shit's gonna go down, like their building's gonna explode or something like that.
Yeah.
Why has he kept the records on everything? Printouts no less. It's so 20th century. Not everyone loves technology. Yes, but why keep them? I guess he didn't expect anyone to waltz into his office so easily. Oh.
I'm only human. Only human. Should have done what I was told.
Oh, what? So he's not the big bad. Okay.
What are you doing here?
Claudius, you seem unsettled. Surprised to see me? I know your grand plan was for me to be dead by now.
You, Amira Dharma, are the least of my worries.
We've seen your plans. Plans that will see the poorest in society fighting for scraps. When the rich get the best and the most, no one gets their fair share.
Fair share? What about life is fair? These services are not human rights. They are human needs. And what better commodity is there than something people need?
Access to basic services should not be limited by riches. Life shouldn't have a price tag.
I hate to be the one to say it, but...
Like, why is Letitia and Claudius, whatever his name is, voiced, but Amira isn't in this instant? Posted a photo of both restaurant signs. Excellent. I'll check that out afterwards, Artifine.
The power of life shouldn't be in the hands of those who answer to shareholders.
I don't have time for this. Dear God. Get out. Both of you.
Oh, is it a bomb? Maybe? No one else needs to die, Claudius.
Whew, that tips the balance.
No. That's not a water pistol in his hand.
Go! Now!
Oh. I thought he was going to, Wu-Tang hopes you have enjoyed your visit. We hope you are having a victorious day.
I am not your puppet!
Oh no!
Looks like Claudius Dye took himself out of the gene pool.
Thank you. Jesus. That escalated quickly.
Fatality.
Indeed it was.
Why didn't you arrest him?
I
Why
can't
did
believe you
bring
didn't
him in?
inform me of her whereabouts.
Yeah, he's going to yell at us for not arresting him.
Yeah.
Do you think perhaps you're focusing on the wrong aspect of all of this, Justin?
What if Justin's the big bad? Nah.
Not only was Letitia innocent the whole time, honestly, I don't think I could have done this without her.
Even when she drugged your drink and ran?
I'm trying not to dwell.
She's just a party gal that likes roofying people, that's all. Unrelated.
The law is the law, Amira. But I'll admit, sometimes there are grey areas.
You mean?
Iran and I managed to pull some strings.
It was just a prank.
She'll still have to answer for illegally breaching the temporary probation, but I'm sure it won't be more than a fine and a stern word.
Nice.
Singapore is, after all, a fine city.
I see what you did there. Hey, Justin, this is a good joke.
Surely your jokes are punishment enough?
Ah.
I do hope this is the "you're free to go" speech I've been waiting for.
Letitia, what are you doing here?
Letitia, I hear you've been a great asset in the investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Aya. Now, Detective.
Superintendent.
Super Nintendo Justin.
Yes, I see you've managed to get your holotech working. I believe you're about to say something about my bravery paving the way to my freedom.
I was saying that we managed to pull some strings. You are no longer under surveillance, Miss Malu.
Excellent. Oh, my bank heist plans have really been hindered by...
It's funny that we were able to go and break into a bank in a foreign nation and that's all good.
And I would appreciate it if you kept such humor to a minimum in my presence.
We just stole records. Didn't really steal money or anything like that.
My blood pressure truly cannot handle it.
I could say the same for your humor.
Anyway, I'm pleased to confirm all those files were full of exactly what we needed.
Yes.
Never mind survival of the fittest. What Claudius had planned was survival of the richest.
We now have evidence that Claudius was the one pulling the strings, the instigator of the bribes. Shu Wenling was just a foot soldier, like she said.
And the Carl Pan file?
All locked away in evidence. There's no doubt Claudius commissioned the death of your engineer.
Any luck finding evidence of him killing Miss Xu?
Unfortunately, not. For someone so tech-averse in his record keeping, he did quite a number on the station's security cameras.
What I don't get is why Claudius killed himself.
Perhaps he was afraid his murderous business dealings were about to come to light.
Come on, you're not that silly.
Could be that's what spooked him. Did you find anything on his computer? Things seemed to escalate when I switched it on.
The computer was a mess, I'm afraid. Our team is trying to piece it together, but I doubt it's salvageable.
Are we sure it was suicide?
Yes, because we saw him in the seat with the gun. We hopped in the elevator. We heard a gunshot. We went back up. There he was.
There was a bullet hole in the window behind him. Forensics say it's consistent with suicide.
Then why was the computer broken?
I can only assume he shot the computer before turning the gun on himself.
I'm sure I heard only one shot.
You sure? Could have missed it in the chaos of the moment.
I'm usually clear-headed about these things.
Unless something new comes to light, we're drawing a line under this. Well, my mountain of admin won't solve itself, so until next time, be good, Letitia.
Memories cannot be trusted. Exactly.
Doesn't he know not to say things like that to people of my personality type?
With the publicity of recent events, the good news is that companies queued up to make deals with Wu Wang are all retreating.
Wu Wang will spring back. They already have a new CEO of Southeast Asia lined up.
Oh, you're not going to voice that one? Already? How do you know this? I know. You have your sources, friends in strategic places.
The new CEO is already on a goodwill campaign. He's all about Wu Wang's pivot to a greater good.
Their PR must be burning the candle at both ends, trying to rework the company's image.
I suppose we're seeing a faint light at the end of this dark tunnel, but it's always darkest before dawn. We've got more work to do. It's been a pleasure working with you, Amira. A pleasure in so much as trying to piece this city together can be. I've made sure you're well compensated for what I can only describe as a feat of heroic sleuthing.
He's stealthily putting money in our account.
I hope we get to work together in the future. The city isn't going to fix itself. We could reshape it one jagged edge at a time.
Yes!
Any chance you want to put that paycheck towards a fabulous new coworker?
Oh, okay.
Are you serious?
Turns out there's not much demand for an ex-CEO who's had her name dragged through the mud. And I suppose solving the odd crime here and there isn't the worst thing to do.
Laetitia.
I know. Some of the mud was my own doing. My moral compass might not point exactly towards north, but now I've got a bit of a taste for the crime-solving business.
We are crime pals. If we need a good poisoning, she's got her.
Or we could become partners in both senses of the word.
I suppose I could use someone with your connections. But as a rule, I tend not to employ people who've previously poisoned me.
For what it's worth, I was super careful with the dosage.
Why should I trust you?
Because when all is said and done, we make a great team. No further comments.
It's hard to argue with that. As much as I want to welcome someone with your can-do attitude, there's barely enough space here for one. Give me some time to think about it. I can maybe rent more space.
Or we can work out of your penthouse, Letitia.
Yes, floor space. That'll make this place corporate perfection.
I know it's not as polished as what you've been used to. And I'll be putting no snark as a rule in the employee handbook.
Snark is the lowest form of wit. Before you can hire an employee, you'll need to expand your office. Holy shit, we got this. Call a real estate agent from your contacts list. They'll help arrange more office space. Once it's all done, call your prospective employee and let them know. I am rather relieved not to be thought of as a murderer anymore. Just a reformed former evil company woman. People really don't warn you when they think you've ended someone else's life. Strange, that. Exactly right, Tongs. I was thinking the same thing. Something on your mind, Amira? I'm still not sure I fully understand why Claudius ended his life like that. You think there's someone else out there pulling the strings? Yes, I do. I hope you're not suggesting the case is still open. Yes, I am. Let's just say the case is closed. For now. Cocktail time it is then. Come on, first round's on you. What cocktail will it be? I heard they have one called Bullet in the Gut. What would Bullet in the Gut be? I'm thinking it'd be Bacardi 151, Chartreuse, and Everclear.
Okay, so BCE. I thought you'd done 2/3 of an ABC at first.
I was just thinking of the most alcoholic thing I could think of.
MWPC is pretty bad because it's the Bacardi, Citrus, and Absinthe.
Banana Slammer? I hope you don't think you're funny, Amira.
What about that? Was that scene in Dust Boot where he? I know it's not alcoholic.
Never seen Dust
You could
Boot.
still do it alcoholic, but it's basically mixes lime juice and milk together and then drinks it all. You could do that with like maybe Bailey's or something.
It's like the lime in the coconut song.
It's like that, except because it's dairy, it congeal. What's the term? It's not congeals.
Curdles?
Curdles, yeah. It curdles immediately, and then that's why it grosses everyone out when he does it.
Tongs, I really like that joke. It's so silly, but I like it.
Yeah, it's got to be the 4-hour version, 4-hour watch party.
I'd tell you to take your complaint to HR, but on second thoughts, maybe a life of crime is the better way forward.
There's a scene where one guy picks his nose and flicks it on someone else.
Oh, that'd be a sure punch in the face. If anyone did that to me, the rules are set in stone. I can't control them. You flick a snot on me, I'll punch you in the face. Just the way it is. Same if you fart on me, same thing. I will punch you in the face. Rules are set in stone. I can't change the rules. That's the way they're written.
I've had a coworker do that. Like
Fart on
years
you?
ago. Yeah.
Oh,
Because like sometimes I've thought like, you know, when you're sitting and someone's standing behind you, but like there is there where you think to yourself, man, if they just released one now, it'd just be. But I thought there's no one way someone would do it. But sometimes that's in your head. It's like a little bit of fear. And once I was sitting there working away, and this guy was talking to someone behind me. It was a guy from Queensland, so he came down. That's interstate for anyone else. He was coming down to visit, and he was talking to someone behind me, and I had that idea in my head. It's like I put it aside, and then I suddenly smelt something horrible. And it's like, what? He didn't do what I think he did. And then I just sensed him because he was holding like a little pamphlet or something, and he waved behind him like to.
Oh
hide
no!
it to go, and that gave it away. And it's like he just farted right in my head.
It would have to be a form of assault, right, Saku? Like, I mean, with your law skills, if I was in front of Judge Judy and I said, look, I want compensation, $5,000 compensation because this guy just parped on me, she would be like, yeah, you get the compensation. The rules are set. You don't do that kind of thing. So gross. It's the laws, exactly. Make a nuisance claim. Say it was
It's a particular matter.
Okay. I reckon that might be the perfect time to call it there. We did 2 cases. We've locked it in. Don't know how long. Now that the game's expanded, the next case could be quite long. So, nice little point there. Been streaming for 1:45. We usually go for about 2.5 hours. So this is a good spot. Just so you guys know as well, next week is Easter break. So there won't be a stream because I'll be in New Zealand. But also, you know, with people hanging with family and camping and doing what's what. Yeah, we'll jump onto the week after that to continue. We'll be calling the real estate agent to expand our office. We'll get Letitia her own sort of drug lab to concoct some poisons to poison the puppet master. All right, let me quickly see if there is anyone. At least there was no restarts that time. I reckon probably all these streams so far would be about this time if we didn't have to restart the cases from failing. All right, let's see who is on. Let's see if there's any people playing this gem. Oh, there's no one playing that. don't think. Is there anyone, Steve, that you have on that you wouldn't mind raiding? Otherwise, I'll continue looking for...
No, really. The only person I have is someone you know as well.
All the games I'm putting in, people aren't playing. I'm putting old school games in. Let's just look in the retro category. Let's have a look. We'll check out someone new. See what they're about. How about this? We'll search for someone playing Resident Evil 1 because I know a bunch of people were playing that. Is Resident Evil 1 retro? It would be, right? Does that fall?
Has to be. I don't know about the remake because I don't know where that falls. I guess that wouldn't fall into retro.
Just take a look at this.
But number one definitely is retro.
All right. Seems a lot of people are streaming the remake, but there is one person. All right. We are going to raid a person by the name of Nemesis Biohazard. So you can assume that this person likes Resident Evil a lot.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that, but it's just 2 references in my one username.
I've got to spell it correctly. All right. Locking you guys in the raid cannon. Fantastic hanging out with all of you. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you eat something delicious. Pizza, burgers, whatever. Something yummy. And you enjoy your weekend. And we'll catch you on the next stream.